It's hard to have a conversation these days without AI, bubbling up somehow. But what's really interesting is how fast it's all moving, splitting off into different kinds of AI almost.
Absolutely. It's not just one big thing anymore. And that's why we've gathered quite a range of perspectives for you today. We're looking at materials from places like IBM, NVIDIA, but also Gartner, McKinsey, Anthropic, PwC.
Right, and even some practical takes from IBM Technology and Bernard Marr on YouTube.
Exactly. The idea is to sort of map out the territory, make sense of generative AI versus AI agents, and then this thing called agentic AI.
Yeah, because it's easy to get lost in all the terms. So our goal here is pretty straightforward. Cut through the buzzwords and give you a structured look at what these AIs are, how they differ, and, what they might mean down the line.
Let's do it. We've got some really interesting distinctions highlighted in the sources.
Okay, so let's start with the one people probably hear about most, generative AI. What's the core idea there, really?
Well, according to sources like IBM Technology and Bernard Marr, it's fundamentally about creating stuff, content, right? Text, images, code, maybe audio. It reacts to your prompt
Uh-huh.
and generates something based on patterns it learned from, well, massive data sets.
So it sees patterns, learns them, and then makes something new that fits the pattern. But IBM Technology points out that its job kind of ends there, doesn't it, once the generation is done?
That's a key point. Yeah, it doesn't take the next step on its own. It needs more input. Think about chatbots or those image generators everyone's playing with.
Right.
Or, as IBM Technology and McKinsey mentioned, maybe a YouTuber uses it for script ideas or thumbnail sketches. But the human is still reviewing, refining.
Making the final call. Okay, so it's a tool, a powerful one for, say, drafting marketing copy, like Anthropic and McKinsey suggest, or even helping with coding, as PwC notes. But it's about that initial output.
Exactly. IBM Technology has a good way of putting it. They're like sophisticated pattern matching machines. They've figured out statistical links in data and use that to make new, similar data.
Which is amazing, but it does highlight that limitation. It's reactive, needs that prompt to get the ball rolling.
Correct. No inherent drive to do more, which leads us naturally to the next category, AI agents. How do these differ?
Well, McKinsey defines them as software bits that have agency, I suppose is the word. To act for a user or a system to get tasks done. They can automate things, complex things like understanding language. Feels like a step up.
It is a step up.
Yeah.
And McKinsey highlights this shift, from AI that mostly just knows things to AI that can do things.
Yeah.
And this is powered by those Gen AI models for understanding, plus better ways for these systems to remember things, context.
So they have memory. That sounds important. They can build on stuff. And McKinsey also says they can use tools like browsers or APIs. That seems to open up a ton of automation potential.
It really does. IBM has a similar take. They see them as ML models trying to mimic human decision-making, solving problems in, real time. They also talk about multi-agent systems.
So like multiple AIs working together.
Yeah, coordinated. AI orchestration, they call it, to tackle bigger, more complex goals.
A team of AI collaborators almost. So what are the big advantages IBM sees in using these agents?
IBM points to a few things. Efficiency, for one, using pre-built or custom agents gets you started faster. Then there's integration.
Crucial. You don't want it stuck in a silo.
Exactly. Seamless integration with systems businesses already use Salesforce, Microsoft, Workday, you name it. Plus, automating those repetitive tasks frees up people for more strategic stuff. And better customer experience, offering that 247 support.
Makes sense. An agent handles the routine stuff. So what are some actual examples? Where are these being used?
All over, really. IBM's watsonx has pre-built ones for HR recruiting, onboarding, or sales, automating tasks there. Procurement, too, like finding cost savings. And customer support and self-service.
Okay, specific business functions.
Right. And McKinsey talks about Copilot agents. Think Microsoft 365 Copilot or even ChatGPT in some ways, augmenting what you do. Drafting emails, writing code snippets, finding info.
Like a super-powered assistant?
Kind of. Then you've got workflow automation platforms. Microsoft Copilot Studio. Salesforce is working on Agentforce, handling multi-step tasks.
Yeah.
And even more specialized agents for specific industries, like AI-driven customer service or AI helping build software.
Wow.
And the final step McKinsey mentions is this idea of AI virtual workers, almost like digital employees or team members.
That's quite a spectrum. From helping me write an email to being a digital team member, McKinsey says it's moving from thought to action, but surely there are risks or things to watch out for.
Oh, definitely. McKinsey notes it needs careful implementation, managing the change in the organization. And Gartner warns we could repeat mistakes made with RPA, ending up with loads of undocumented bots no one remembers.
Right, the ghost bot problem.
Exactly, and trustworthiness is huge, Gartner stresses that, plus needing really good quality data for them to work reliably.
So careful planning, good governance, solid data. I got it. Okay, now onto the one that sounds, well, the most advanced, agentic AI. What makes this different?
Yeah, agentic AI is where things get really interesting regarding autonomy. Gartner, PwC, IBM, Bernard Marr, they all describe it as software that's goal-driven. It can make its own decisions and take actions to reach a goal with pretty limited human supervision.
Minimal supervision, that feels like the key phrase. So it's not just following steps, it's figuring out the best steps.
That's the core idea.
Yeah.
Anthropic draws a really clear line here. It's not like a predefined workflow. With agentic AI, the LLM, the powerful language model inside, is dynamically figuring out its own process, deciding which tools to use, how to use them, all to achieve the objective.
The AI is directing itself, essentially. Bernard Marr lists key features: autonomy, adaptability it learns, and being goal-oriented. PwC breaks it down even further, right?
Yes, PwC gets specific. Autonomy is key, obviously.
Yeah.
Goal-oriented behavior, trying to optimize its actions. Interaction with its environment, it perceives changes and adapts. Learning capability, getting better over time. Optimizing workflows by blending understanding, reasoning, planning.
Wow, it's putting a lot together.
And it could even talk to other agents or integrate with external tools and systems.
Sounds like it has serious independent problem-solving skills. How does it actually work, though? NVIDIA and IBM give some insight.
They outline a kind of cycle. First, it perceives, gathers data. Then it reasons the LLM, plans things out. Next, it executes the plan using APIs, tools, hopefully with guardrails, safety checks. And finally, learns, gets feedback, improves for next time. It's a loop.
Perceive, reason, act, learn. Okay, that makes sense. IBM had that great example, not just telling you when to climb Everest, but booking the flight and hotel, too. That's quite a leap.
It really is. Or IBM Technologies example, a shopping agent that doesn't just find a product but tracks availability, watches prices, handles the checkout, arranges delivery, all pretty much on its own.
Super convenient, maybe slightly scary. What other real-world uses are mentioned?
Lots. IBM lists AI trading bots analyzing data and making trades, autonomous vehicles, obviously, healthcare agents monitoring patients and potentially adjusting things, cybersecurity agents watching for threats, supply chain agents placing orders automatically. NVIDIA adds examples like customer service that actually completes transactions, not just answers questions, digital humans for more lifelike interaction, video analytics for watching complex operations. Bernard Marr throws in smart homes managing heating, lighting, security, etc.
Okay, so it's crossing that line from providing info or doing set tasks to taking independent action towards a bigger goal. IBM Technology calls it moving from thought to action with minimal intervention, the LLM being the brain doing the reasoning. But more power, more risk. What are the big caveats here?
Huge caveats. Anthropic warns that this autonomy means higher costs, and errors could potentially snowball if not managed. Testing and robust guardrails are absolutely critical. Anthropic and Gartner both hit this hard.
Makes sense.
IBM adds concerns about badly designed reward systems leading to weird or negative outcomes, and the risk of the AI reinforcing its own bad habits. And Gartner raises flags about governance. How do you manage something operating so independently? And even the potential for smart malware.
Yikes. Okay, so guardrails, clear goals, constant vigilance seem essential. Right, let's shift focus slightly. Looking forward, what are the highlights and opportunities for each type? Back to generative AI first.
For Gen AI, IBM Technology really sees it shining as that content creation tool, that idea sparker. The opportunity is for it to get even better, more integrated into creative work as a brainstorming partner, the trend. More sophisticated models, better understanding of context, nuance.
Becoming a smarter creative assistant, basically. Okay, what about the broader AI agents category?
The highlights there from IBM and McKinsey are really about automation, efficiency, better customer service, being those helpful co-pilots, boosting human capabilities.
Yeah.
The opportunities, wider adoption across businesses, automating more processes, boosting productivity, getting built into the software we already use. Trends point towards more specialized agents for specific jobs, according to McKinsey, and also that move towards multi-agent systems tackling more complex stuff together.
Making things run smoother, smarter. And finally, agentic AI, the autonomous one. Highlights and future path.
According to Gartner, PwC, and IBM,
Hmm.
the big highlight is that autonomous problem solving, being goal-driven, interacting with the world, learning. Gartner even sees potential to upskill us by having AI manage complex processes.
Yeah,
Opportunities, well, they're potentially revolutionary.
oh, so.
Automating really complex multi-step tasks across industries, creating, as Gartner puts it, a goal-driven digital workforce, reaching new levels of scale and efficiency. PwC even floats this idea of service as a software, paying for the outcome an AI agent delivers.
Interesting model.
Trends, more integration into enterprise software, AI agent marketplaces popping up, better reasoning and planning in the models themselves, and a huge focus, as Gartner and McKinsey stress, on building trust and those all-important guardrails. IBM Technology sees a future where these capabilities blend generative and agentic working together.
It definitely feels like a progression towards AI that doesn't just do things we ask, but actively collaborates to achieve goals. So just to quickly pull it all together, the main distinctions.
Sure, so generative AI, reactive content creation from prompts, AI agents, broader category, task-focused automation, acting on behalf of users,
Mhm.
agentic AI, the edge right now, autonomous goal pursuit, making independent decisions with minimal supervision.
Okay. From generating content to automating tasks to pursuing goals autonomously, we've covered a lot of ground, explored the potential, and also the significant considerations for each.
We have. And it really brings up a big question, maybe for you listening. As these AI systems get more autonomous, more collaborative, how do our own roles change? How do our responsibilities evolve alongside them? What does this mean for, your work, your future interactions with these increasingly intelligent systems?
That is definitely something to chew on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the increasingly complex world of AI. It's clear things are moving fast, and understanding these differences feels more important than ever.